There it goes. Hey guys, Scott Short here with Empire Home Loan Corporation. My MLS number is 225-998. DRE number is 01074493. Ick, go.
What's up, guys? Bobby Peterson, and here at Bobby Buys Homes. Yeah.
So Bobby, I'm reading here and here. He's definitely phenomenal work in the BRRRR method. So explain what BRRRR is.
Essentially, accumulating rental properties through buying fixers. Right? You're buying the property, either cash or usually with a hard money loan. You're rehabbing the property. You refinance the property, you rent it out, and then essentially you repeat that process.
Cool. So with your process right now, you're finding properties through, what's your source of how you find properties?
A lot of it is referrals, could be attorneys, could be wholesalers, could be realtors, and then we do mailing campaigns, we do cold call campaigns. A lot of it tends to be through probate and trust properties in general.
Cool. So when you find a property, are you looking for the ugly fixer, or what are you kind of looking for?
Yeah, usually pretty beat up. You know, right now with the market shifting, we're adjusting our strategy a little bit, where we're taking properties that aren't as in rough condition, where the timelines they won't take as long, because that's a big factor today, right? You know, if you're flipping or holding the property, your holding costs are going to be detrimental to your profits at the end of the day.
So what do you say is your holding cost? Going to cost you money? What else are you looking at?
Yeah, so holding cost really is, generally properties are purchased on a hard money loan, and those are high interest, so roughly about 10% interest only, right? Which in theory these days not too far off from what a traditional loan is, right? I think we're back down to 6s maybe. Yeah. But yeah, that accumulates holding costs when the property's empty, so as quickly as possible you want to make sure you got renters back in there, or if you're just flipping the property, you want it back on the market quickly.
Cool. So when you're looking at property, what's kind of your mindset? When you see a property, what goes through your head? What are you looking for? Okay.
Yeah, two things. One, can I cash flow on this, right? And two, can I flip it and make, obviously, some money on it? So I have a threshold roughly, around $40,000 is what I'm looking to make on a flip. And then for a rental property, in general, I was at one point looking for about $500 a month per door cash flow. Right now, that's a lot tougher with interest rates. We are looking at essentially still buying properties, but we're doing interest-only loans on those. So maybe like a 5 or 7-1 ARM, and with the hopes that rates are going to get better in the next 3 to 4 years or something like that, to help with the cash flow. Right, you're not paying that principal payment, so maybe you save $300 or $400 a month on your rental property, and you can help with expenses, or maybe that's your cash flow, and then refi it in the future.
And the cool part is, like, you look at 10% on an investment property. Investment home loan like 10% for hard money, right? Mm-hmm. But that's less than 1% a month. So that's kind of your calculation. You take that piece in there, kind of figure out if you can hold. Usually, if you buy a property to fix and flip, what's the turn time usually?
On average, when I look at my properties, it's about 4.5 months. So that's from purchase to close. Now that time frame certainly is adjusted. I still got a property that I bought back in May that we're hopefully closing in a couple of weeks. Days on market are longer, but traditionally that's been what we're looking at. It appears the market's picking up a little bit, but we still have we're now estimating about 6 to 7 months for hold times on properties based on the market shifting.
So there's certain areas you're probably looking at. I mean, because you can't cover all areas, because all areas won't pay out for you that much. So, but there are certain areas, like, let's say we're talking about originally about downtown doesn't really fit your model. Explain why that doesn't fit your model.
More so right now, finding a box and a criteria of what we're looking for, and older properties have more problems, right? And we're talking about time frames, turn times, right? And older properties got old plumbing, old wiring. It's got plaster walls. It's a lot harder to work with. So all that's going to take more time. Obviously dealing with permits and things like that can be more complicated. So I'm still buying those properties if they're good deals, but it's a smaller buyer pool that's willing to live in these certain areas and afford those type of homes, right? Like the main price range that people are buying homes in is $300,000 to $500,000. So that's more or less what I'm trying to stick with. And most downtown and suburb properties around downtown are much more expensive than that.
Yeah, the one part really like we did a film last year on.
Yeah, East Sac. That was the one I still got.
That was nice. You had the front house and you had the 2 ADUs up back, right? Over the garage. You had the garage and you had the right above it. How'd that work? Remind me of that one.
I didn't end up doing the ADU.
Okay.
I just did a detached garage. Okay. And that was one of the ones, I bought it in May, obviously. Anticipated a higher return on the price. I'm probably going to lose about $5,000 on that one. So definitely like a learning curve, but nobody fully expected what took place the last 6-7 months. So, I didn't get caught too bad in the turn, and I had a number of very profitable projects last year. Yeah. So overall, it was still a good year.
Yeah, one property I can't remember, I was ranch where it was, the house, the guy on top of the roof, the roofer said, "Don't go inside, stinks," like, holy heck.
Yeah, I think that was
we were okay with that, was he?
It was Rosemont, yeah. And that was another one, we purchased in August, we closed in December, so that was around that 4.5 month time frame. But yeah, I mean, the market suggested the sales price would have been $550, right?
Yep.
I'm banking on numbers like, okay, I think $520, $510 is still a reasonable exit sale price. And we ended up selling it for, I think, $490 or $495.
Right.
So, that one, it was profitable, but not, nearly as profitable as it could have been since the market.
What did you do with that tree up there? The tree without some root issues, is that a problem or not a problem?
So because the roots were so far from the trunk,
right,
an arborist looked at it,
yep,
and they said that you can just cut
okay,
the root
right
that was underneath the house.
Right.
So the tree's still there. I mean, it's a massive, it's a strong, it's healthy tree.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything about it blowing down with these crazy storms. But yeah, it was a pretty big tree, and we landscaped that backyard really nice, and I feel it's a good canopy and shade.
Yeah, we had nice, good bones. That good bones. It's just sad when the house gets that, that unloved, you want to call it, right? You're finding houses, you don't create love. You're actually creating more inventory for us, which we appreciate, because a lot of people are scared to take on the project you take on because they don't understand the project, they don't have your background and stuff. So what you're doing is actually inventory. We appreciate it because inventory is really in a high demand right now.
Yeah, certainly trying to improve neighborhoods, and that's kind of our vision and mission statement is improving neighborhoods everywhere you go, and creating a better environment in that neighborhood, and a new family to come in and appreciate that street and the home for sure. Because there's some crazy scenarios that we run into of how someone was living in that property and taking care of that property, and maybe a nuisance to the neighborhood, and certainly getting in a better quality neighbor. People are appreciative of that for sure.
Neighbors are definitely happy. They love you basically at that point.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. So I'm understanding there's some properties that are, like you're saying, there are squatters. That it's a sad thing that happens. But from your standpoint as a professional, how do you handle
that? Putting alarms on houses are a big thing. Yep. Simply Safe has a pretty good alarm system that's not too expensive at the end of the day. It's
that guy was a commercial with the little thing over his head?
I think so, yeah. I was using ADT for a while, which is a more expensive version.
Right.
But, when a property's vacant, it's tough, right? Because they're identifying it as an empty house and a warm house, right, during these storms.
Right.
And they go in and they move beds and couches and they're cooking in there.
Start fires on your hardwood floor.
Yeah, there's been some crazy things for sure, but overall, I mean, putting alarms on it these days and possibly boarding up the windows as well.
So as you say now, for monitoring all these properties you have, you like a virtual assistant doing that for you? Who's doing all the monitoring for you?
The monitoring?
Yeah, monitoring, because you have all the Simple Safe stuff, whatever. So,
yeah. We just started using Simply Safe, and it was on 2 different properties. And since we put the alarm on, haven't really had any issues.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, people were sneaking in through a doggy door, some are windows, some are.
Oh my God, that's a scary person.
You never know, but you definitely want to make friends with the neighbors, so they're kind of notifying you.
Cool. So for our audience here, what are you looking for properties for you to pick up, fix up? What are you looking for?
Yeah, kind of anything dilapidated, really. Anything maybe a seller doesn't want to put it on the market for one reason or another. But yeah, I mean, we bought fire damaged properties, smoke damaged properties,
burned down properties,
border houses, burned down properties. Dry rot issues, roof issues, HVAC issues. There's a lot of roof issues right now with kind of the crazy storm. So pretty much anything in any condition. Definitely looking to expand our portfolio for multifamily properties.
Right. Tell me about the burned down house. Tell me that story.
Which one?
The burned house. The house that burned down or whatever you bought, like it's all just. We talked about on Tuesday, talking about burned down house.
Oh yeah. So there was one. I think it was about a year ago in Natomas. But yeah, the fire damaged properties, can be nice to pick up because the owner gets a check from the insurance company, right? So it can be easier to negotiate, and they can be a little more flexible in price because they're getting a big check from an insurance company, and then the investor comes in, makes it easy for them, and it's seamless. They don't have to deal with a remodel and maybe put a tenant back in, or if it's their house type thing. So we've done probably 6 or 8 fire damage, burnt down properties. Not all the way down, but certainly some studs and some different things are still there. But it is a niche that we kind of attack for sure.
So you're actually looking for partners to do some business with? How's that work? If somebody wanted to partner with you, how's that play out?
Yeah, I mean, reducing risk these days is certainly a thing. We did about 13 projects last year. We're looking to do 20 plus this year. So we've been doing joint ventures with people. That's where if you bring a deal to us, we'll help manage and finance it. We're also looking for financial partners that don't necessarily want to be involved with the deal, but can invest money with us.
They like a higher interest rate.
Yeah, there's
you pay more than 0.5%, right?
A little better than the S&P 500 and the market and things like that. So definitely some options there.
The bank pays me what half 1%.
Something
There.
like that.
So everything pays better.
Yeah.
That's good. So other things you're looking for. You're teaching classes right now. Are you teaching classes, or are you doing what's going on with your teaching process? What you're doing, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think it's more branding. Right? I've been doing more on social media, get my name out there a little bit, doing some outreach with realtors or various referral partners. And the classes that I did one Tuesday, a couple days ago, and that was specifically teaching people how to hunt for deals, right? So when working with us, right, you have the opportunity to get possibly 2 or 3 commissions as a realtor, right? You can get a couple sales up front and then list it on the back end. So there's opportunity there. And then I'm teaching a BRRRR class, which is, buy, rehab, rent out, refinance, repeat things. So, both of them really are to educate people and show some methods that have worked for me. And back to the hunting the deals, show you a process of what's worked for me and that you guys could implement to purchase a property, flip it, and or purchase it and keep it, right? At the end of the day, real estate creates more wealth and more millionaires than any other industry, and I think it's simply giving people some tools and systems on how to do that.
Yeah, alternatives for retirement. Alternatives. You got your stock plan, you got your real estate plan, but
Absolutely diversifying. Yeah.
Yep. So let's say that. So you're doing a thing tonight. So where's your thing tonight at?
Yeah. So today's January 19th.
Yep.
It's Thursday. We're doing a first mixer meetup type thing for more investment type individuals, like-minded people. It is in Natomas. It's at Oshima's Sushi. There's a banquet area in the back. It's 2071 North Crossing Drive, and you could look up Scott or I on Facebook, and we'll have some more information on that.
What time?
If someone's interested. It's
Sure.
at 5:30 to about 7:30 or 8.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then we're going to do them every month, and some are going to be specifically mixer related, networking, and then some are going to be more educational. So I think we're going to switch that off and alternate every month.
Cool. So how do people get a hold of you? They don't even go with me, they go with you. So how do they get a hold of you for all this stuff going on?
Really social media, I think, Bobby Peterson on Facebook, and then we're doing a lot of updates and tips and tricks and walkthroughs on properties that we're flipping and things like that. And the Instagram handle is Bobby Flips Homes. So those two things are kind of the easiest avenue to get a hold of me.
And then the other life you have with your wife, you actually do sell properties on a regular realtor basis. So you're one half of the team. Your wife does more of the resale stuff, or how's that work?
Yeah, I've definitely stepped away. We've brought in another agent to assist with our sales. So my wife runs it. My background was helping investors buy properties and selling properties, and I really kind of stepped out of that and focusing more specifically on our rentals that we're acquiring and flips. So my wife and our team member Janelle, they kind of handle all that, and we did kind of pivot into helping people finance these properties as well. So we're doing hard money loans. So there are a couple different pillars of what we do, but we can help people secure the financing if they're looking for properties, fixer conditions, or traditional loan. What we call Scott for the traditional loan. It's more like those high interest loans that I referenced.
So your boys are how old? You have 2 boys.
Yeah, I got a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old.
Right.
So a 9-month-old's standing and getting closer to walking, and the 2-year-old is talking with us, communicating, a ton of fun. So definitely.
That's the fun part, because that's why Apple's so busy, because she's at home trying to juggle. But that's a good thing, because
it's definitely a work-life balance that has been refreshing. It's been awesome.
You'll probably see Bobby with the 2-year-old out on sites. You'll see him actually teach his kid how to hold a hammer.
Hold a hammer, start door knocking, pass out flyers. I don't know how to do anything with tools or hammers, but. We'll see if they get into some demo when they get older or something like that.
So last thing is, what's your phone number if people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so getting a hold of me, once again, social media, and then phone number is 916-420-5600. 6508, and always available to give people guidance and suggestions and ideas on how to, work through this challenging market. And with investing, it is very risky, so you want to make sure you understand what you're doing and have a good idea of, and learning from some of the failures that I've had. I've certainly made some mistakes along the way, and hoping to educate some more people through the process.
The good thing about the challenging market, it strengthens you, plus there's more opportunities. If you look at there, because the challenge that you have buying, say, I think other people have their own personal challenges, that you're able to help them out of those challenges and actually help somebody else.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like I think I got, maybe I could say, a little lucky, or maybe just made some good decisions last year where it didn't destroy my business. Where I've heard some others had a worse outcome at the end of the year, and it's tough to navigate right now for sure. A lot of people stepped out because they're scared and timid about the market. I'm still in it. We're still buying. We're closing a property this Friday.
Nice.
Closed one earlier in the year. So we're out there still hustling.
You're so bullish.
Yeah, no, we're still buying for sure, and it's a different market, but there's always opportunity. And frankly, when less people are in the market and a lot of people step out, there's more opportunity for you to pick up the gems and that are going to have long-term appreciation. It may not be the best property in the short term, but long term it'll work out.
And plus, you want to learn from Bobby's mistakes. He already paid for those things, so you get free.
You
get free help, because he's going to take care of you guys, teach you how to do it properly to forward your business and also forward his business. So God bless you, my brother. I appreciate your time, man. Nice seeing you, man.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
man.
Sir.
Yep. All right, guys.
We out. I think we're out.